So one of the things you said yesterday or last episode was the idea of like paying coaches, and you kind of used the example of yourself. So I wanted you to revisit that a little bit again. You could use yourself as the example if you want to, or just like how that's actually a beneficial thing if you're invest are able to invest a little bit of money in a decent coach, and kind of that line of thinking.
Yeah. So the benefits of when I coach?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Can you do the example again you used
Yeah.
last week where you're talking about if you were a coach? So if I wanted to get Coach
Yeah.
Andy as a coach,
Yeah.
walk down
Yeah.
that path again.
Yeah. So when we're talking about coaching, like almost every team that you play for in youth hockey, and I'm even going to go saying like once you get to like this is life, right? This is like the negative tone. This is the negative tone. Is the coach is always an idiot. Parents think that like it's so funny. You hear some mom or some dad saying how the guy's an idiot, man. Like, no, he's not. He's making 150 grand or whatever coaching the OHL. He's not an idiot. I guarantee you that. He probably knows something that you don't know. So maybe stop analyzing the game so much and just watch because they actually do know what they're doing. Some more than the others, but whatever. So like, let the coach coach. Like seriously, let the coach coach. Like I can't even say that anymore because nothing is going to be that dramatic as far as X's and O's goes. They're kids, right? But let's just say what I said last week is that you're with a team and someone has the means to get a good coach. And I'm not talking X's and O's only. I'm talking you've got someone that would be good for the kids. The intentions are good. There's maybe their life is together pretty good. Maybe they're fit. Maybe they have a good business. Maybe they have a good job. Maybe they're a teacher, whatever it is. And they have good qualities about them. And on top of that, they enjoy coaching hockey. And on top of that, they happen to be very good. Well, if that person has their life together and you go up to ask them to coach a team, like if their life's together, it's probably together. They probably don't necessarily need to be coaching a youth hockey team. True?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And so that's where I was coming from when I coached. That was sort of me. Did I make myself sound great there?
No.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But
So you're doing
that
fine.
was the appearance, right? When
Yeah.
I coached Charlie's team after I did that, it was because I was the dad that, come on, coach the kids, man. And I'm like, okay, I'll just coach them. That didn't cost anybody anything.
Yeah.
I was just being a good dad at the time.
Yeah.
And it was appropriate because he was so young.
Yeah.
But when I coached in Detroit those years, it was I was the skills coach. And the feedback from the parents is that the kids really, really like you as a person. Because they would walk in as their skills coach in Detroit and they would walk in and I'd talk to them.
Mhm.
And it wouldn't be like just joking around. I'd talk to them and see how they're doing and how they feel and tell them jokes and, just be a good person for them. And we'll go to a game here and there and watch them and, got along with the parents. And most people felt like I was a pretty good dude. And I was very good at what I did. And I made the mistake, if you want to call it that, of saying to the people with the right ears, saying, I just love these kids, man. I'd love to have the opportunity to coach them flippantly, not meaning I want to coach them. I just said that would be a real fun thing to do.
Yeah.
Listen, I had a business that needed my attention because it was like, it wasn't like totally built yet and could run on its own. I was the face of it and the thing, right? So they heard that I even thought about coaching. My phone was ringing off the hook. So the offer was made, would you coach the team? How much do you want? And I'm like, and I said, like, listen, here's the deal. I don't really, I said it like flippantly, but they said, no, let's talk. So it was like, okay. So I said, I'm not going to give you a number because too much, I'm a jerk, or I'll get way overpaid, which maybe I'm the dummy for that. And then if I go too low, then I'm a dummy for my family. So I'm like, this is in your hands, and maybe we'll talk about it. So anyways, there was an offer, talked to my wife, and I said, it'll be good. I wasn't getting rich, but I did fine. So that was that. I did that, and I enjoyed it. And so when people say, if you look at just that isolated situation, should it be a negative tone? There's one person that was responsible for the bulk of it. The organization paid another part of it, which they do anyway. So there was that piece that was going to go anyways. And so was that negative? It's like they looked and they wanted someone different, someone that knew the game that was going to be good to the kids. So it wasn't like someone was paying just for their kid to get an opportunity. So like the reason I said that last week is because most times it's just a negative thing. Who's the money guy, who's the sugar daddy on that team, and it's like it's not necessarily a negative thing. Maybe there's people that have, and there's people, as this person did, had a lot of money and more money than he knows what to do with, and he decided to create an atmosphere for his kid and his kid's team that was a positive one. And it was a very, very positive one. And at the end of the day, everybody was happy, including me. And and I'm not saying happy because I made a ton of money. I got paid for what I did, and it was fine. I mean, I probably should have just stayed at work. I would have been done better off there. But I really, really enjoyed it. I had good relationships, got good friends for life. But it wasn't negative. It was a positive experience. So sometimes that actually happens, and I don't want to ever, because that's what we do is we just assume it's just a sugar daddy thing. It's like it's actually good for the kids sometimes. Now, there's the flip side, a huge flip side, where some of these guys do it to control the team, to control their kids, to control ice time, to be in the know, to maybe have connections, and to do all the things that we hate about the game. And that happens a lot. But it also happens with good intentions as well.
Yeah, I think that kind of moves into the buying team stuff too, where you were mentioning that a little bit last week, where whoever has a lot of money will buy teams. Because I had that happen in my life. One of the kids that I played with, his dad just kept buying the next team up, and it was for that reason. It was for the control reason, and you can see when that happens because a lot of times, most of the time when that happens with teams, it doesn't work out. So even if that person keeps control of the team that they bought or whatever, people leave, the team doesn't do well. It never goes according to plan when there's somebody who doesn't know what they're doing that just has a lot of money controlling the situation. And that was a situation that happened when I was playing. I remember in junior, the guy that bought the team was like way over involved. So it was like this coach, then this coach, then this coach, then this coach, and it's still happening with that team because he still owns a team. So it's like the problems that you can run into with that are definitely there. But to your point, when you coach those kids in Detroit, it's like you still talk to some of those kids. It's like,
All the
you know what
time.
I mean? Like you still keep in touch. These are like you said, you made friends with parents, you made friends with the kids. Where like a lot of those kids now are adults, and now you're actually kind of friends with them in a similar relationship like you and I would have, where you talk to them like that. So it's like, is that bad? Was that a bad thing that this guy said, "Hey, I'll pay to have this guy come and coach us"? And like those things happen. But from the outside now, you can look at that team and be like, well, they got this guy that pays to get this
That
coach or
that
whatever.
you can look at the coach bag as there's that dirt bag again. He just goes around taking money from parents, and and some of it is very true. I
Yeah.
know guys like that.
Hmm.
They coach 2, 3, 4 teams. You can't do a good job with 2, 3, 4 teams. I'm sorry, right? But there are those guys out there, and they are. You know who they are. You know who they are. It's pretty obvious, right? Like you can figure that out pretty quickly. But yeah, like there's people that buy teams for their kids, and you know who they are. You can tell right away. They're control freaks, and they're the dad that can't. They have to watch every practice to make sure that the practice is run the way they think it should be run, and their kid is getting the right attention, and the kid is being treated good, and they know the line matchups and everything's going on, and they have the pretend conversation about we're playing this team, this guy you might want to look at him on the power play. It's like, dude, you're the dad, or you're not a hockey coach, man. Like, let the coach.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So